Hey, clowning around Python crew, it's your boy Dustin, coming back at you with another video. Now I apologize profusely to all of my subscribers, to all of my followers on Instagram who also watch my videos periodically here. If you haven't subscribed and you follow me on Instagram and you've seen my channel here, you haven't subscribed, what you sagging on? Don't be a buster, hit that subscribe button. And if you're new here, welcome. So the reason why I wanted to do this video is because I had a bunch of questions about, do you have a goal? Yes, I have a goal. Now, clowning around Pythons, yes, I'm working with clown. Yes, clown is my focus. No, it's not the only recessive that I'm going to be working. I'm going to be working quite a few different recessives. I have a partner who I'm mentoring and kind of getting into. His name's Cody. He's going to be part of clowning around Pythons as well. So, I'll have him on some of these videos as well pretty soon. I'm just trying to get to a certain point where I'm ready for that. So, getting back to what I was talking about, I have a goal in what I would like to do with my projects. Now, the first year, last year, that was my very first season. This is my second season. I wanted to just get my feet wet in the hobby. I had never bred before. I wanted to make sure I had everything dialed in properly. The stuff that I, put together wasn't necessarily anything high end. There was no recessives involved. There was nothing like that. It was just, I had a breeder ready male, and I had 3 females that were ready to go as well. All of them were, except for one, were brand new breeders. My Hidden Gene Woma Pastel NG Pinstripe female and my Bamboo Mahogany female, they were both babies when I got them. They had never bred before. I raised them up. And then my male, Banana Cinnamon Mojave boy, he was also a first-time breeder as well. My OD Pastel Pinstripe female, I had purchased as a proven breeder, and so that, she had experience, she knew what she was doing, and by the time he had gotten to her, he knew what he was doing. And it was almost just, boom, I had no issues with him. It's awesome. And all 3 of them laid clutches for me last year. Beautiful babies. This is one of them. This is my Banana Pinstripe boy. He's actually going to go to my buddy Cody. Let's markings real quick. And look at this belly. Look at that. Look at the markings coming up the side. Little pattern on the back there. And he is from the Hidden Gene Woma girl. So let's recap. She's Hidden Gene Woma Pastel NG Pinstripe, bred to a Banana Cinnamon Mojave. So, anyways, last season was not a season of plans for holdbacks. Nothing was held back. I didn't care to. It wasn't a matter of that. I wanted to get dialed in. I wanted to make sure I was going to do right before I got into some of those more high-end projects, which I'm doing this season, because I know I have everything dialed in properly. So one of the things that I'm working on this season, who should be very, very close into dropping her eggs anytime now. She's on day 37, I think, now. After her 30-day shed, it's at day 37 now. So on Saturday it should be, Saturday should be, or Sunday should be essentially day 40. So I'm waiting on her. She's a Super Citrus Pastel, Fire NG Orange Dream, and somebody told me she was possibly het for clown. So if that's the case, the boy I paired her up to is who is my butter acid het clown boy. Um, they could, if she does prove out to be clown, that'd be really, really cool. I'd be really stoked about that. Now, yes, I do have a particular combination from this pairing that if I were to hit, I would keep. Macon, crate, go. No, you're not doing that. Sorry, hold on, guys. Go, crate. You're not going to be doing that. Oh, so, now the reason why I'm going for specific pairings with that and specific holdbacks is because everything that I pair is for me, for the future, for that next season. So the males will be ready before the females. I need at least a year to a year and a half, sometimes 2 years for the males. I haven't had too much issues with that. Like about a year and a half is typical for what I've experienced. Get them up to about 800 grams is what I personally prefer. They have that a little extra love. You can do it at 750. I've heard of people doing it a little bit lower than that even. I don't recommend it, but that's just me. It's nothing personal against them, and if it works for them, it works for them. It's, it's my way and their way, and nothing is wrong with that. So, I have certain ideas of what I want to get. I have room for one more male, which will be a Desert Ghost combination, which once I am able to do so, I will purchase that. Now, I have priorities. Right now, instead of doing 3 clutches like last year, I'm doing 6. So I doubled my clutches, and I have to get a bigger hatchling rack. So that's something I'm working on. I had recently, a while back, lost my job, so it created a very tight budget situation where, to be completely frank with you guys, I don't usually share these kinds of things. I went through my entire savings before I finally got a job again. And right now the job pays the bills, gets us by, but not really. Like, I've had to borrow money from my father too much at this point. So I'm getting back to where I want to be. A lot of this is to get me back forward. I'm looking for another job on top of what I'm doing right now. So I'll be working a full-time and a part-time job on top of breeding ball pythons, who eventually I hope to get to where I'm doing this full-time and not having to work and work for anybody else. And so my suggestion to anybody that's getting into this, if you haven't figured this out yet, which you will, even if you don't see this video in time, you could figure it out the day before you see this video and go, yeah, I just found that out myself, where you need to breed for you. And that's something that I hear from my buddies over at Flawless Exotics, Will and Audra. Shout out to them. If you aren't a subscriber to their channel here on YouTube, do that. If you are not following them on Instagram, do so. They are incredible people, knowledgeable, friendly, helpful. You cannot ask a stupid question. I mean, you probably could, but they wouldn't treat it as such because they want you to succeed. My buddy Darren at Sloan Morse, shout out to that guy. He is an amazing man, very helpful, very knowledgeable. Both of those two groups are friends with each other as well. You see them on here, and so another one, Leviathan, Justin. Oh no, I think it's Justin at Leviathan. If I'm getting your name wrong, I apologize. Um, but Canova, let's just put it that way. Canova, they are amazing, or not. Sorry, Leviathan. I just went off to the next one. But Leviathan, they are amazing. They do amazing videos on the industry and what's new, what projects you should probably be looking into, what the market's like. As far as that goes, they are incredibly knowledgeable. They are incredibly helpful. If you're not signed up to their Patreon or Will and Audra's Patreon, please do so for yourself. It is very beneficial that you will not regret it. Canova, let's go to them. Canova is another. If you haven't heard of Canova, then you're living under a freaking rock, especially in this community. So, Canova makes incredible animals. They are probably one of the biggest, if not the biggest, reptile breeders, in my opinion, in the world. They are some of the leaders in this community as far and you know, if you're lucky enough to meet them or get any kind of knowledge from them, then you need to take that into spades and hold on to it, because the way that they started, that they started out, okay, was very humble. Okay, and same with Leviathan as well. And you know, so you know, they know what they're doing. They made it. Okay, they did what that most people dream of doing in this freaking industry. Okay, and in this hobby. So, and he didn't try to do this big. He wasn't shooting for this. It happened because he focused on doing it the right way. And I want to applaud him for that, because I want to say, you guys over at Canova are who I look up to the most, and as far as what I would like for my family. Not necessarily in that scale, but just the professionalism, the quality, you know, the knowledge, it's just everything that I want to instill that into clowning around pythons. Another group who I bought a couple of snakes, actually the acid butter clown boy that I mentioned earlier, I got from these guys. Shout out to Nikki and Kurt over at Irresistible Pythons and Rattery out in Washington. They are very, very amazing people. They are funny. If you haven't seen Nikki on there on Instagram doing her little skits with her different personality, you know, definitely check them out on Instagram. If you're not subscribed to their YouTube channel, hit that subscribe button for them as well. You know, they're amazing people. They do some really fun stuff. They're working with some great projects. And they're very open. You talk to them, you can ask them any questions. They're very, very helpful. So, just a few people that I wanted to bring up and everything. So, but, you know, I definitely learned a lot this season. And I'm looking forward to, or this last season, excuse me, I'm looking forward to learning more this season. And you know, I'm looking at possibly holding back about 10 hatchlings this upcoming season, or this season here. And so I definitely will be upgrading a lot of what I have. I'm going to be selling off a couple of snakes that I raised up as babies. My bamboo mahogany girl, she's going to be going. Another one will be leaving me when I'm done with them as well. A buddy of mine had let me know that he is interested in them. And so that's going to be for him. Also, don't buy into this. I made the mistake. No, not to say I regret buying the product. The product itself, beautiful, no complaints, other than one. I wish that I wish that they had a way to connect all the multiple levels into one cord. Maybe have it to where somehow, like maybe you plug it into the next level. I don't know, to where it's all powered under one cord, because having multiple plugins, you have to have multiple thermostats for this one product. Now, it's not a huge deal once you get to a certain level of them, but it's a little bit of an inconvenience. That's all it is. It's not a design flaw. It's just a design inconvenience. Some people don't care. It's just me. But don't get all sucked into that in the very beginning. Put your money together, sure, but don't waste it on that right away, okay? Because there are other rack systems that you can use that may not last you as long, because that's freaking heavy duty. It's going to last me freaking years before I ever have to replace any of it, other than maybe the heat elements, but that's from rubbing. It's just a little bit different as far as that goes. And I got special ones that prevent rubbing as bad. So it also helps insulate the heat a little bit better. So anyways, get yourself something simple. Don't have to worry about buying one of the big name brand freaking rack systems and major ones, or the majorly expensive ones. You could probably build one. There's videos online. You could probably build one pretty cheap. I did not do that. I found somebody who builds rack systems, and that is who I'm going through as far as that goes for myself. At least for my hatchlings. And then I'll be using a couple of different rack systems for my breeders. So definitely, keep an eye on that. Don't worry about buying a bunch of snakes at once either. Start out small. Don't worry about it. Maybe start out with 6, a male or 2 males and, 4 females. You know what I mean? Put one male to 2, the other male to 2. Pay attention to the genetics that you're putting to them. Have a plan on what you want. If you're passionate about something, it'll be that much more rewarding when it comes. And just enjoy the process. It's a little bit stressful, but enjoy those moments too, because those moments are how you know that you do have that desire and that passion, because you wouldn't feel that way if you didn't. And something that I want to bring up now, Leviathan brought this up in one of their videos. The whole 5-year threshold that a lot of first-time breeders don't get past, because they're finding it hard to find people to buy their hatchlings. And they decided to go through a bunch of pairings, and now they have 40, 50 hatchlings that they need to find homes for, and people aren't buying them, or it's the cold weather, or the cold front, like right now, where a lot of places it's too damn cold to ship and send snakes and everything. So it's just a risk to do so right now with how cold it is. So, a lot of people aren't sending their snakes out and selling their snakes that way. You can still buy them, but you have to wait until it gets warm enough to sell or send them. But anyways, those first 5 years, year one, you are going to sit there, you're going to be sitting there going, I still have 2 snakes left that have not found new homes. I'm holding on to 4 of the snakes. This is one of them. Actually, excuse me. 5 of the snakes. Because one of them has already been paid for. The only thing that's left is their shipping, and then it'll be sent out to them once the weather warms up. Okay. And then the other 4 are for my buddy Cody. Once he gets his other rack system situated, he'll be able to get his babies as one of them. So eventually I'll only have 2 left in my rack. I had done a raffle where I kind of just I put some names from my followers and my people that had shown interest in buying, friends of mine that knew about it but just don't have the money to buy one right now. They want one and they can take care of it. They just can't buy one right now financially. And so I had 4 snakes, and I had 6 people. I was going to spin the wheel and have 3 people, or excuse me, I had 3 snakes, 6 people, and I spun the wheel with those 6 people on it on my phone. I set it up on a little app. And I chose the 3 people that won those snakes. And they won them completely free. The only person that did not pick up their snake was because the only thing that I required, and they knew this in the very beginning when I had them, when I taught to them, the only exception was 1 person, and that was for issues that I wasn't going to argue with, and I'm not going to get into that because none of anybody else's business. But I delivered that snake to that person for free. Delivering the snake was supposed to be $50 gas maximum, and $30 gas minimum. So a $30 delivery fee minimum. That was if you were close by, wasn't a big deal. Gave me a little extra spending money, and plus I got to fill my tank up, or close to it. So this person did not want to. He lived far enough where it was going to be $50. Too far for it not to be. And he did not want to pay the $50 fee. He knew that was the case, and that was going to be, if he won and he wanted me to take it over there, then I would have to charge him $50 for gas and time. The only kicker is he could have, if he really wanted the snake, driven over here or gotten a ride out here and gotten it completely free. If you picked it up, it wasn't going to cost you nothing other than the time and gas to come pick it up. Okay? Didn't want to do that. So that snake is still here. That is one of the 2 that did not get sold. It's gonna be rough. You're gonna probably have some snakes being with you for a while. You're probably gonna put on, Morph Market is a great opportunity for that because they have auctions. Okay, you might not get as much as the animal is worth. You might get more depending on how badly somebody wants it. Just keep outbidding each other. It's like, no, fuck you. This is the one I want. Okay. But at least get some interest out there. You might get a couple bucks from it. You might, you can choose to do free shipping. And you can actually set a minimum. It has to be at least this much before, and if it doesn't hit at least this mark, then it continues on. You see what I'm saying? So let's say like there's a limit of at least $250. Okay, if the time limit for that auction goes before it hits that $250, it'll continue until it at least hits that. It'll have a certain amount of time that it adds on, and so on. So it's a great way to go ahead and get rid of some of the snakes that you weren't able to sell off, and the normal senses of people finding interest right away. Year 2 is what I'm currently on. I have more interest from people. You find kind of that path of what you've been wanting to do. You finally get into that zone. You finally start seeing that picture. You finally see the road that you've been looking for. That lane. You get into that lane. So that's where I'm at. I finally got into my lane. I finally figured out what I want. My girls that weren't breeder size at last season are now. And so I have the projects that I've been wanting to do and that I originally was wanting to go with finally are going to come into fruition. I've got some visual clown stuff coming through this season. I've also got some more het clown stuff coming through. And so everything that I'm breeding for a purpose, to get a certain combination so that I can raise them up and use them down the road. Year 3, I hear, it gets a lot easier. Year 3, if you can do it by year 1 or year 2, if you have the funds and you have the ability to do so, you have made enough snakes to where you feel confident, you've made you've got a banner, you look professional, and you decide to event at a show, do it. Get yourself out there. It's a great way for you to meet other breeders, for other breeders to see what projects you're working on, for you to create rapport with other people that are in the industry, in the hobby. Customer basis is going to explode, and you can sell some snakes there. It's just going to cost you a little bit of money to do all that and do it properly. Year 2, you might, if year 1 is successful and you've just kind of focused on getting a little bit of that money back in, you might be able to vend year 2 quite comfortably. Year 3 is where what I hear is really what you want to focus on your on going to maybe a show or 2 through that season, getting your feet wet in there, making sure you're professional, and having that income and having a little bit more rapport. People are going to see you and go, oh, I've been following you for a couple of years now. Hell yeah, what do you, oh, I seen that one hatch out. That's awesome, dude. You have more uh, connections that will bring you more interest at the shows, especially if they hear that you're going to be there and they've been following you for a little bit. Year 4, you are finally starting to get to a point where maybe year 4 you finally got to a point where you're like, I've almost brought back my entire investment. I've got maybe a little bit left over. I got a great customer basis. I don't have any hatchlings left over. You have your your internet basis, like your Instagram, your Facebook, your whatever you use for social media. You have a really good follower base. You have a lot of customers on there, a lot of interest in your projects that you're currently doing on year 4. And you're getting closer to that threshold of you are indeed a breeder. You're no longer this first-time breeder. You're no longer a new breeder. You're finally an established breeder at year 5. In year 5, you might actually start seeing a actual income. Okay. People that are new breeders don't typically get to year 5 because year 1 and year 2 is extremely difficult. Year 3 could also be very difficult depending on what you decide to do, which is why you gotta research the projects, what's popular, what people are interested in. You have to be willing to sit there and invest. Okay, you gotta spend money to make money, and you have to be able to sit there and go, this is a project I really want to do. It's a $5,000 snake now. And here's another part. Is sometimes you buy a snake for $5,000, and then by the time that snake is ready to breed, it's worth less than half of what you paid, which sucks as a breeder, especially when you are excited about a project and it can fuck with your mind, especially when you're new. But be prepared for that. Okay, maybe save up enough money where you get one that's closer to breeding size, so you don't have to wait so long. You can finally get into that project, and it won't be, it won't go down in worth that fast or that far. But definitely, I've seen people get into it, and they, like I said, they're just having such a freaking hard time getting their snakes sold. And they're just like, I just can't do this. I'm spending more money feeding all these snakes. I thought this would, they think it's going to just make them money right away, which it would be nice. But I can tell you from experience, from my first year, that I know that I'm going to be, if I can do this properly, and that's why I've slowed down on buying snakes. I'm raising them up. I'm getting them to where I can breed them. Because now it's just a matter of creating what I want, selling off what I don't, using that money to go back into so I'm doing a percentage. It's not necessarily half, but I'm doing a percentage of what I make from the snakes that I didn't keep. All of my hatchlings, all of my breeders that I sell off are either going to go to some replacements for what I want to get into, different projects or whatever, like that paint project, or going back into, and the other part is going back into the account so that I can reimburse some of my costs. Okay. I have reimbursed a fraction of what I think I've invested as far as snakes and housing alone. About $18,000. It's not a lot in some cases. It's a lot for me. And I'm still investing. And it can be draining. But it goes back into, spend money to make money. I might be getting, I've made maybe I want to say a little over $1,000 back from that this year. And that's because I had some issues selling. So I did that raffle. I gave away a couple of snakes for Christmas presents to some family and friends. And I sold some at a cheaper price than what I probably could have, so that I could make room. Now, those are not healthy business, performances or ideas as far as that goes. But like I said, these clutches were not anything really special to me as far as that goes. They were special as far as they were my first clutches, and that was an amazing feeling to cut the eggs and watch them come out of the eggs, go for their first sheds, have their first meals. I had one that would not fucking eat for the life of me. She ended up dying. Sad. Shit happens. I tried force feeding her. She would not eat. I got her to eat one time and then she regurgitated it. So it just, she couldn't. Yeah. Anyways. So this season I focused on stuff that is better, more sought after. People are really liking acid, so I assume I'm going to get a little bit more people looking into it. I've got more people showing interest, talking with a lot more people about these clutches here now than I did the last 3. A lot of them are going to be worth more. I have one of my other projects is my leopard spot nose possible lace het clown female, and she was just paired up to my normal clown boy. So the reason why is because I know what a normal Batman looks like, which is what spot nose and leopard make with clown. It's called a Batman. But I know what a Batman looks like without lace, and I know what it looks like with lace. So I did this pairing so I could easily spot out if she is indeed lace. There is no shed test yet for lace, but I'm hearing there should be some coming soon. So, looking forward to that. So I'm hoping to prove her out for lace, and if that is the case, then that would be amazing, and I'll be able to, those are going to be some high-end snakes. High-dollar snakes. Not like high like Monsoon, but like decent money. And I want to clarify something. I'm talking a lot about money. And the reason why I'm talking a lot about money is because right now I'm talking about the reality of getting into this. Okay? The reality is you are going to struggle those first 3 years. And I'm just trying to show in this concept here where it can be very worth it in the end. you could end up making some really cool snakes that are going to be worth some good money and have some good interest. I know plenty of people that I've talked to, if she says, have said, if she proves out for lace, they want to buy a couple hatchlings. I have no problem with that. If she proves out for lace, I have a plan on putting my butter acid het clown boy to her next season too. So, you know, if she doesn't prove out to be lace, I'll probably still do it. But, you know, that would be really cool for that to happen. And so, yeah, it gets better. Money is not the reason why I do this, guys. Yes, it's nice to have maybe a few extra bucks laying around so I can take my kids or my wife out and, you know, have fun with them, go on a vacation or something like that. Just have a little extra spending money, and that's good. This is the passion, dude. You have to have that passion, guys. If you don't actually love doing this, and get out of it. So, 41 minutes into this video. I won't waste any more time on you guys. I appreciate everybody that has stuck through this video. Please understand that I am going to be doing some more videos on here. I had some stuff going on with family and with my health and such like that, which prevented me from having any kind of time and energy to do this. If you have not subscribed to my channel, please do. I'm trying to do some live streams here on YouTube instead of Instagram. I need at least 50 subscribers. I have 37 as far as I last looked. So shout out to my 37 subscribers. And, you know, I'll see you guys on the next one. Stay motivated. Stay lifted. Stay focused. You know, you will be all right. If you're a new breeder and you're having those issues, hit me up, please. On Instagram is the best way to message me. Okay. You could also hit me up on Facebook, Dustin Miller on Facebook. Hit me up, guys. If you guys are having a hard time with this, your first season or second season, you just need to talk to somebody about some of these things. I'm a new breeder to you guys. I'll be there for you as much as I can. I'll give you whatever information I can to help you. If I don't know the answer, I'm not going to give you false hope. I'm not going to give you false information because I want you to succeed. I will send you to people that can give you that information. And so we are here for each other. That's one thing I really like about this industry. So, with that being said, much love to you guys. Peace out, my beautiful reptile family, and I'll see you on the next one.